Inselmulkom għal darbohra ġajna l-ura għal-programm ieħor W.O.W. Jiena Ġożef Ċappara flimkien ma' Beverley ħabiba tiegħi illi hija speċjalizzata fl-epigenetika. Inselmulkom u nittama illi llum ikonna sezzjoni li hija interessanti ħafna il għaliex se nkomplu fuq dak li bdejna il-ġimgħa l-oħra li kien detoxation tal-moħħ. Ġifiri, kif bliema mod nistgħu innatfu moħħna. Imma llum għandna xi ħaġa ħafna interessanti għax għandna normali nitkellmu fuq pożittività, eċċetera. Imma meta ngħidu pożittività, kif u bliema mod taffettwa il-ġisem? Taffettwa veru jew le? Illum hija edizzjoni vera speċjali. Hello, Beverley, how are you? I know that today it wasn't easy for you to be here because crossing over sometimes is not that easy, is it?
It isn't. It's not at all.
But we really appreciate, that you still make it happen. So, Beverley, as I was telling our audience today, since last time we started off with this idea of detoxification of the brain, of the mind, actually, because the mind involves also emotions. So, can we start delving into the idea of, we talk about positivity. Yes, it's good to be, and it's true that when people do practice certain exercises for positivity, there is a change. But actually, there is a biological change, isn't there?
There is.
And can you go there? Because this is very interesting for us to understand.
I think one of the things that I found very beneficial about when we did the Detox Week was it was in 3 steps, and detox of the mind was step 1. And then we did detox of the cells, and detox part 3, the step 3, was of the liver and the kidneys. And we spoke a great deal, about those areas. However, during the detox week and after, many of the people that attended contacted me because they wanted to know more about the mental detox, the mind detox, because they had not understood before that it was actually a physical chemical. So our thoughts, which are in our mind, which is not an organ, trigger chemicals inside the brain called neuropeptides. And it is those neuropeptides that go down into our body and program our cells. So by changing the thoughts, we change the chemicals being released by our brain, and therefore we change the chemicals arriving in our cells.
Oh, wow.
All right?
Yeah, that's a process, huh?
It's a physical process.
It is a physical process, and it's very interesting to understand, because once one understands it, then it all makes so much sense. Mela, li qed tgħidilna Beverley li veru għadu kif kellna ġimgħa interessantissima ta' detox. Jiena kont waħda mill-parteċipanti, ħadd gost immensament, mhux biss għax tkun taf li qed naddaf il-ġisem, imma għaliex bdiet tispjega ħafna fuq dan l-element li qegħdin nsemmu. Mela, ħanibdew nispjegaw x'ikun qed jiġri meta aħna ninsistu kemm importanti l-pożittività. Għaliex? Għax meta aħna qed nitkellmu fuq xi ħaġa pożittiva għal moħħ li mhuwiex organu, il-moħħ li jkun qed jagħmelu ikun qed jieħu informazzjoni u din l-informazzjoni jgħaddiha billi jgħaddi messaġġi b'dawk li jgħidulhom neuropeptides. Dawn huma ismijiet teknoloġiċi ġifieri toqgħodux titħawdu bihom, ma jgħaddu dal-messaġġi illi dawn meta jaslu iwasslu dal-messaġġi ċelloli fl-organi tagħna. Mela jekk jiena qed inwassal messaġġ dan neuropeptides ta' rabja, ta' toħta nifs, ta' toħta qalb, dawk il-messaġġi qed jgħaddu dan il-messaġġ fiċ-ċelloli illi huma jirċievu dawn il-messaġġi immedjatament u jaffettwaw l-istat fiżiku bioloġiku tal-organi tagħna. Bil-kontra, meta aħna nagħmlu eżerċizzjina bħal meditazzjoni, bħal nibdew narfu kemm importanti li nitkellmu pożittiv, nisimgħu lil nfusna u nibdlu il-mod ta' kif aħna qegħdin nindirizzaw li u għax inbeżżu u għax indem li jiġru affarijiet u għax għarraf minn xi għaddejjin u għax dan l-ar żmien ta' ħajti. Il-messaġġi li qed nibatu il-moħħ jgħaddihom immedjatament bħala informazzjoni ġdida liċ-ċelloli tagħna. U allura dawn iċ-ċelloli jibdew jagħmlu f'qalbhom, jibdew jimirdu, jirrabjaw u joħolqu infjammazzjonijiet. Bil-kontra, jekk aħna qed ngħidu isma' minkejja dan li kollu għaddej, nirringrazzjaw l-Alla illi l-għandna bombi fuq rasna u l-għandna ġuħ u dejjem nieħdu gost u nuru gratitudni, ngħidu grazzi għal dak kollu illi aħna dejjem minnu. Dan hu l-messaġġ li qed jieħu l-moħħ u l-moħħ dan il-messaġġ qed jgħaddih permezz ta' dan neuropeptides dawn iċ-ċelloli illi allura dawn iċ-ċelloli qed jgħidu għall-erbieħ u le aħna ngħaddu minnha di wkoll l-affarijiet ikunu tajbin u dawn jgħadduhom l-organi. U dan l-element ta' tama ta' ferħ ġofina jaffettwhom ukoll bioloġikament. U allura dawn ikollhom reżistenza għal affarijiet li għaddejjin fuqhom għaliex imsaħħin b'dan l-element b'dawn il-peptides illi huma reċipjenti ta' informazzjoni biex isaħħu ċelloli u l-organi. So basically, Bev, let's take the current situation. So yes, unfortunately, we are hearing, what's happening, the amount of deaths, the amount of people being infected, blah, blah, blah. So this can actually help out, with barring, with keeping away even viruses.
Yeah, when we talk about neuropeptides, every emotion we have activates a different neuropeptide, and there's some of them, and the body doesn't know what is good or what is bad because it needs all of them at different times. There is a neuropeptide called norepinephrine. If norepinephrine is sent, and one of the reasons it would be sent to your cells is stress and anxiety and fear, would prescribe that neuropeptide to go to your cells. Norepinephrine opens the cell door to certain viruses getting inside. Now, if norepinephrine was not being sent, then the door would not be open on the cells for certain viruses. So if we are happy, a different neuropeptide would go, not norepinephrine. But if we are stressed, if we are anxious, if we are fearful, then we're going to be sending a lot of this neuropeptide called norepinephrine, which opens the door of the cell, and certain viruses can then gain access.
Okay, well, wow. Informazzjoni interessantissima. Mela jiena staqsejt, għettil allura beva aħna dejjem minn dal-perjodu li mhuwiex faċli u nisimgħu bimwiet, nies li qed jiġu affettwati, eċetera, eċetera. Għettil allura dana b'xi mod jistgħu wkoll jaffettwa s-sistema tagħna u r-risposta kienet illi għandna mela dawn in-neuropeptides huma varjati, ġifieri hemm kwalitajiet differenti minnhom. Wieħed minnhom li semmitieli huwa neuropeptide.
It's like no.
No?
epinephrine.
Epinephrine, yeah, okay. So, it's no epinephrine. Mela dan huwa isem ta' wieħed minn dal-ħafna peptides li għandna. Illi però dan jiġi stimulat u jiġi energizzat u juhu l-ħajja meta aħna nkunu għaddejjin minn ħafna stress u ansjetà. Issa, meta jiġri hekk, il-messaġġ illi jkun qed jibgħat il-moħħ lil dawn iċ-ċelluli qisu jkun qed jiftaħ bib ħalli jidħlu iktar minn dawn il-viruses li jkollna around. U allura so I suppose the immune system gets affected.
Well, neuropeptides affect every organ in the body, but predominantly the immune system. And don't forget, this is a two-way street. So when a virus, say rhinovirus, which is a common cold, attacks you, so say you had it now, rhinovirus, a common cold, and it hit my cells, it would call for norepinephrine. So from the cells, it's going to call for more of that neuropeptide from my brain to go down to open the door to let it in. All right? Again, it can be sent from the brain to the cells, or the cells can call for it because of what's happening environmentally to them. So it's a brain-body connection. And it's the mind. So if the mind is stressed and anxious, then that norepinephrine will go.
Yeah.
But if the mind is happy, you know, then
will
it will not go.
It will
No, it won't go.
Okay. Mela jena id-domanda tiegħi kienet allura jekk aħna meta jiġri hekk li jkollna din l-istress u din l-ansjetà u għandna dan il-peptide li qed jidħol u għaliex qed isib il-bib miftuħ. Jaffettwa wkoll is-sistema tal-immune system tagħna u qalt li għaliex għax huwa mhux biss jiġi il-messaġġ mill-moħħ għaċ-ċellula, imma kultant dak li jkun qed jaffettwa l-ambjent tagħna u tat eżempju għalt lejja ngħidu illi jiena qed jattakkani virus illi huwa tal-influenza. Sewwa għandu isem rana virus, jiena ma kontx nabbieħda. Anyway, imma huwa virus illi jidħol. Issa, dal-virus li qiegħed madwarna qed jipprova jippenetra dawn iċ-ċelluli. Iċ-ċelluli allura se jgħidu dan il-peptide illi huwa maħluq bl-ansjetà u bil-biża' u jsejjaħlu biex jiftaħ u allura jiġi attakkat. Imma, u din l-interessanti, il-proċess isir dejjem. Imma jekk aħna bħala bnedmin nifmu x'qed jiġri bioloġikament mill-moħħ għaċ-ċellula miċ-ċellula l-moħħ. U nżommu lilna nfusna dejjem kemm jista' jkun inħarsu lejn l-affarijiet it-tajbin tal-ħajja u nkunu iżjed ferħanin. Meta il-moħħ qed jirċievi dik is-sejħa miċ-ċellula biex jiftaħ iżjed dal-bieb għall-ansjetà u għall-istress u għal dak il-virus, se jsibu iżjed stakkat, iktar magħluq. U il-moħħ jinjara din is-sejħa u allura hemm ħafna inqas ċans illi niġu attakkati jew li jekk niġu attakkati ikunu attakkati b'mod qawwi. Dana biex niffutikka iżjed ukoll kemm il-darba nsaqsi lilkom jiġri illi tibda tgħid issa ġej riħ fuqi, imma intejt le ma jistax ikolli riħ bħalissa għax għandi ħafna affarijiet li għandi bżonn nagħmilhom u għandi bżonn inkun b'saħħti. U għax inti tibda tgħaddi dak il-messaġġ b'saħħtek il-moħħok, tinduna li anke jekk ikollok influenza biex daqshekk b'saħħitha. Imma hawn ċerti nies li jgħidu jiena koll xitwa ikolli influenza, x'qed tagħmel int qed tissejħilha. I am talking about how often, Bev, it happens to us. That, for example, yes, you mentioned this idea that I could have, feel this idea of catching a cold. But I am too busy, and in my mind I'm saying, I can't afford the cold now. And what happens is, for the reason you are explaining, I am understanding now, but I always say, I like put it on hold. And normally, let's say I have a play, and I can't afford to get sick. because I have to perform. So what happens is I really believe that I put it on hold. Then, without knowing it, once the play is over, I say, it's okay, now I can rest. And
it's called the biology of belief, right?
Wow.
That's what it is, the biology of belief. So if you can imagine, one of the stressful things for many people is flying, being on a plane, right? You get anxious, right? A lot of norepinephrine go into those cells. You're trapped, all right, in a pressurized space with other people that could have viruses, could have coughs, could have colds. You're aware of this and you're very stressed. So that's why a lot of people get sick with this belief and also stress, norepinephrine. And then when they're on a plane, opposed to that, you're pushing your biology of belief when you've got to play, saying, no, it's not happening. I cannot get sick right now. But you've kind of got a line where you get to that line and then that belief is lost and then you get sick, where it would be better to think, I never get sick.
And so this is what is known as
the biology of belief.
Okay, mela, ħan nispjegaw naqra x'qed tgħidilna Beverley għax interessanti ħafna. Mela, qed tgħidilna meta jiena spjegajtilha l-eżempju illi għandi performance jiena u inħoss darriħ ġej. U f'moħħa qed ngħid le ma nistax nimrat issa, ma nistax nimrat għax għandi dil-performance u rrid inkun tajba liha. B'xi mod li jiena qatt ma fimt bioloġikament, don ninżommu lura malli tispiċċa l-performance ngħid issa li jiġri li jrid l-aqwa li għaddiet. Lo and behold, l-għada inqum vera spiċċuta. Isni żammejtu on hold, darriħ. U qed tgħidilna illi fil-verità nies bħala illi studjaw din speċjalizzaw f'din l-arqa. Dan jgħidulu biology of belief. Jiġifieri kif il-ġisem bioloġikament jagħmel trasformazzjoni skont dak li nemmnu. Mela dawn huma żewġ affarijiet li mhux jimxu hekk imma jimxu flimkien. Mela qed tgħid u tat eżempju tajjeb ħafna ta' ajruplan. Mela kemm nies ġieli jitilgħu fuq ajruplan u jkollhom ansjetà għaliex għax jista' jkun ma' ħafna mart, jista' jkun hemm minnu marit bekla u joħolqu din l-ansjetà. Il-moment li aħna nidħlu f'dan l-ispazju li nkunu qed nagħmlu li mingħajr ma nafu qed nagħmlu ngħidu diċ-ċelluli qed jgħidu qed isejħu lil dawn il-peptides li huma il-norepinephrine. Epinephrine, non-epinephrine. U qed jgħidulhom ħoj, qed nibża dawn jimmultiplikaw. Jinżlu fl-informazzjoni tagħna, jgħaddu fiċ-ċelloli u bdil biża li taħkimhom joħolqu l-ansjetà u l-istress u pom! Sakemm jinżlu mill-ajruplan diġà jkunu qed jisolu jew qed jozzu jew qed jazzu jew inkella qed jgħidu għandi rieħ. U għaw fejn qed tgħidilna illi kieku aħna nifhmu li issa qed nifhmu nispera x'in qed nifhimha. Kif bioloġikament aħna nistgħu ngħinu dal-ġisem tagħna li jibda jagħmel improvement, li jibda jimxi l-qudiem b'mod iktar aċċellerat, irridu nifhmu illi meta għandna xi ħaġa mhux inżidu l-biża' imma nibdew ngħidu le tajjeb, all right, mela ħa naraw x'għandna u l-affarijiet se jkunu tajbin u se mmur għall-aħjar u se ngħaddi minnha malajr. So basically if one is like auto-suggesting, I'm trying to round it up before the break. If like we are going into this self-talk, nitkellmu ma' nafusna. So let's say I do, have a bad cough, but rather than saying, I'm feeling so bad, this cough is, I say, yeah, I have this cough. You know what? It will pass soon. This message will actually
send a different chemical.
Yeah, mela kif qed ngħidu illi jekk jien għandi xi ħaġa u malli jiena qed inħoss dil-ħaġa minflok ma nkabbar qed ngħid veru għandi s-sola. Taf xiex imma se tgħaddi malajr u tibżax iva tgħaddi bħalma daw affarijiet oħra. Immedjatament jien qed nagħlaq qed insott għal kollox. Dal-peptide antipatiku li jżid l-istress u l-ansjetà. U il-proċess ta' fejqan ta' healing huwa ħafna iktar faċilitat. Ħanifqu għal ftit minuti, ibqgħu magħna ħalli nkomplu fuq da' suġġett interessantissimu jien u Beverley. Wow! U rġajna lura issa fl-istudio biex inkomplu fuq dan is-suġġett interessantissimu. So, li semmur minn hawnhekk u se nipprova naqqat ukoll xi ħaġa li kienet kelmetna fuqha Beverley ftit ilu. Mela, x'jiġri meta inti flok m'għandek persuna waħda illi għandha dit tip ta' mentalità ikollok iktar minn persuni oħra. So, Bev, you know what's crossing my mind? So, I'm going back to what we once started off talking about this power of having, you know, like good energy from everybody. So let's say that rather than have, I am a member of the family and there are 4 other members. If I am the one who has got this positive self-talk, what will be the difference health-wise, biologically, if rather than there being myself, there are the 4 people of the family, or doesn't it make any difference?
It's, you know, power is in numbers, isn't it? You know,
Power is in numbers, that's right.
and you can go into an environment that is incredibly positive, and it's almost contagious. You know,
Yes.
and you bring your positivity to it, and it's adding. You know,
Yes.
like a big math sum. Everybody feels the increased power. Equally, you could go into an environment that is very negative, and any positivity you had is being
Yes.
drawn down.
Yes.
And you are part and adding to that also.
Yes.
You know, one of the things I think is incredibly powerful about collective energy for health, mental and physical health, is when I fly, and I fly a lot. Well, not this year, but generally I fly a lot.
Yeah, but
I
normally you do.
I like to fly Malta and Ireland, and I like to fly it because the people on those planes have great belief in their faith, and that belief is impenetrable. They have rosary beads, they're sitting there, they believe, all right? That is powerful. Not 1, not 2, not 3, a whole plane full. And you can feel the energy. I feel incredibly safe on those planes because of the people on them and their faith in their belief.
Wow.
That belief comes out of them and into the cells, all right? No fear, no anxiety, pure faith and belief.
Yeah, well, that's really, really, really interesting. So let's understand what she's saying, because this makes a lot of sense. Yes. So, Beverley qed tgħidilna kultant indur fuqkom u flok ma naqleb għal Malti nibqa' sejra bl-Ingliż jien. Għadruni ma kultant biex naqleb fast imbagħad. Mela, li qed tgħid Beverley hija illi jiena għedtilha allura jekk inkunu iżjed minn persuna waħda b'dan il-belief system, dan mod ta' kif naħsbu. Setejn u qalet iva għaliex il-forza hija fil-numri. Power is in numbers, ovvjament. U spjegat kif, per eżempju, i meta ssifer, tippreferi ssifer jew fuq l-Malta jew inkella fuq il-flight Irlandiża. Għaliex? Għax il-parti l-kbira tal-passiġġieri huma kollha nies li għandhom ħafna fidi. Aħna nies ġejjin minn gżira kattolika u allura aħna għandna ħafna anke jekk nitilgħu fuq ajruplan ngħidu naqra ta' talba biex naslu fil-paċi, biex naslu fis-slim. U qed tispjega kif meta bniedem, meta hemm iktar minn persuna waħda fuq dan l-ajruplan, awtomatikament mingħajr kliem dit tip ta' enerġija pożittiva di qed toħroġ minni għal għandek, għal anta qoddimi, għal anta warajja u meta nkunu flimkien kollettivament, din l-enerġija hija b'saħħitha immens. Allura din l-enerġija tgħaddi minn persuna l-oħra. Bl-istess mod, din nisseħ kullimkien, mhux biss fuq l-ajruplan, imma ejja ngħidu kemm mela pereżempju ħafna minna jmorru l-knisja, jew ħafna jimmeditaw, jew ħafna jittaqgħu fi gruppi illi jgħinu biex iħossuhom aħjar. Għaliex jemnu li se jħossuhom aħjar, biology of belief, il-ġisem bioloġiku qed iħossu ħafna aħjar. Imma ħbib tiegħi l-istess ħaġa jiġri bil-kontra. Jekk jien se nsib ruħi f'ambjent ta' nies li dejjem igorru, dejjem jeqirdu, dejjem jitkellmu fuq l-imwiet, dejjem jitkellmu fuq mart, dejjem jitkellmu fuq affarijiet korroħ li jiġru, dejjem ifittxu aħbarijiet illi iktar ma juru disgrazzi, iktar ħossuhom qed jagħtu sehemhom id-dinja. Hemm l-enerġija ħatibqa' tinżel u tinżel anke jekk m'iniex magħhom. Għax dak li qed tixrob, dak li qed jixrob il-bniedem u din tinżel fiċ-ċelluli tagħhom u hemm jibda il-bniedem jinżel l-isfel u jħossu rrabjat, u jħossu ansjuż, u jħossu stressjat, u jħossu qed jaqta' qalbu, jħossu frustrat. Dan kollu iżid biex inaqqas mill-ġisem ikun b'saħħtu. This really makes such sense, and it's so beautiful to understand.
It's powerful. I mean, I come from Liverpool, and for the last 45 years, I've been going to watch football. And Liverpool are probably one of the most famous, football teams in the world. The thing they are famous for the most, right, is winning when the odds are against them. And their fans, wherever they are in the world, have faith that they will win. And when you're in a stadium and you have all these people around you that have no doubt, 100% belief, all right, that those players on the pitch will win. And it doesn't matter the odds, doesn't matter. These fans believe. You're in this energy field and all the hairs on your arms are standing on end. There is no question in your mind, maybe they won't, And they've proven it not one time, two times in the last 3 minutes, from no point at all, they put them in the back of the net and they win. And these fans raise it up. They change the energy field. I know people who have got very bad fibromyalgia, very bad inflammation, who see going to watch Liverpool as therapy because of how they feel after a match, the positive energy. It sent neurochemicals to the cells, which cause anti-inflammation. So for days, maybe a week after a match,
they feel good.
They have no pain, all right?
Oh,
because the chemicals being activated,
yes.
Because that's what the thoughts were doing. They were activating positive, happy molecules, happy chemicals to the cells.
Okay.
Belief.
Yes, wow. So, mela Beverley minn Liverpool. U għettejt, illi ovvjament, laqja minn Liverpool, kemm il-darba kienet mur tarax il-Liverpool u għatim illi ħafna minn nies jissapportjaw u għabsaħtu ħafna. Però għettejt, illi waħda mill-iktar affarijiet li huma marrufin għaliha il-fans tal-Liverpool illi għandhom dil-mentalità illi anka jekk hemm kollox kontrihom, imma moħħhom jibqa' jgħid se nirbħu. U għettejt, illi meta jkunu qegħdin kollha flimkien ġo dan l-istadium li jkun hemm l-eluf tan-nies, u huma kollu għaddejjin li se nirbħu u jibqgħu għaddejjin b'dat twemmim dil-fidi kbira sal-aħħar tal-logħba, kemm il-darba għettejt il-riżultat inqalbu fl-aħħar minuta u qed issemmi li interessanti wkoll li hemm nies li ibatu minn pereżempju ċertu kondizzjonijiet bħal mill-fibromyalgia illi imorru propju għal jattendu għal dan il-lob Għaliex tant tħossu din l-enerġija b'saħħitha u tajba u li jibqgħu għaddejjin biha din. U f'daqqa waħda jirrealizzaw illi l-enerġija tagħhom, il-luġijat li kollhom tal-muskoli, eccetera, jibdew ħassuha maħjar. Għaliex, għax l-informazzjoni li qed jieħu il-moħħ minn din l-uforija kbira li żgur ser jibqgħu għaddejjem biha sal-aħħar mingħajr ma jiddubitaw, din wara li tispiċċa il-logħba, ħafna minnhom jibqgħu jgħidu li għal 5 ijiem, ġimgħa u nofs, l-uġieħ iħossuh illi jkun vera telaq. Għaliex l-enerġija tkun tajba, tkun għadha qiegħda taħdem. U naħseb illi irridu nifqu naqra u se ngħid lil Beverley dwarha di. Illi semmejna kelma li għalija l-iktar importanti f'dal proċess. In-nuqqas ta' dubju, il-fidi assoluta. So I think that out of what you are saying, one thing that strikes me most, because I practice it all the time, no matter what condition I have, is the unbreakable faith. I never doubt what I want. So people, I've shared my condition with people many times, about what I suffered from the Guillain-Barré, when I had, my whole system broke down.
Yep.
With all the pain in my body, Because I had a little bit of this knowledge, maybe not the biological side, but I knew, how the mind is related to the body, etc. I just did exactly what you said, I placed a picture in my mind, and I said, within 3.5 weeks, I have to go to the wedding of the son of a great friend of mine. That was my great motor, which kept me going. And with Guillain-Barré, it's no joke, because it's tough, guys, it's tough. However, my brain never went to the pain, and it was excruciating pain I was going through. My brain was all the time going to the wedding, seeing myself there, not doubting it ever. And whenever the professor used to come, I would say, I am going. I would say, no, I am going. You have to give me permission, And that gave me, because I did go, I didn't fly, but I went without crutches, without an aid. Of course, I was holding on to friends of mine, holding on, but I felt good. I stayed throughout the wedding, being so grateful that I was there all the time. And then I went back to hospital to continue my convalescence. But the secret for me, and that was a lifelong lesson, is never, ever doubt that, you will be what you want to be.
It's the power of the mind, isn't it? And it sounds quite easy to say it like that. It's the power of the mind. But it's what's believable for the individual. So in your case, in that situation, it was believable for you at that time that you could get to that wedding, stay at the wedding, and then go back to hospital. For somebody else, it wouldn't be so believable. No. Other people, what would be believable is that they walk out of hospital and they never go back again. Right? Mm-hmm. Everybody is different, and the mind, like any other part of the body, really needs to be trained. Mm-hmm. And part of that training is an understanding of your biology, of your mind, your brain, your cells, and your chemical transmission.
Yes.
If we want to make a cake, we've got 4 ingredients, put them together in this way, the cake comes out as planned.
Yes.
If we've got 5 ingredients, but we don't really know in what way, we're not going to get the outcome. If you understand thoughts create chemical transmission in the brain which prescribe a specific chemical that goes down to the cell that changes the cell. Now, it can open up to virus or it can close off to pain, as in what you did. And it can do that permanently or a short period of time. It depends on the programming. And this is where training is absolutely essential.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
Yeah, so I think ħalli nispjegaw naqra x'qed tgħidilna sew Beverley. Mela, jiena wara li spjegajt dak li għaddejt minnu jien. Beverley issa qed poġġih b'mod konkret. Li jien kieku konna fotogizmin kont infiq iżjed malajr. Imma ma kontx naf da dettall interessanti li qed tgħidilna issa Beverley. Mela Beverley prattikament qed tgħidilnek illi iva jiena daħħalta frasi li rrid nimxi l-qudiem. U b'dak il-belief għax jiena kont dejjem naf u il-relazzjoni tal-moħħ mal-ġisem, imxejt ħafna l-qudiem. Li qed tgħid Beverley mela huwa dan. Ejja nedukaw ruħna u nifmu il-konnessjoni li hemm bejn il-moħħ. Mela, meta jiena għandi xi ħaġa illi qed naħseb, din qed tgħaddi chemicals il-komplement taċ-ċelloli tiegħi. L-informazzjoni li qed jieħdu ċ-ċelloli għandhom għażla. Jew se jiftħu il-bib għal aktar ansjetà, inkwiet u allura il-ħaġa iktar tikber. Jew iċ-ċelluli tiegħi se jagħlqu bil-mod dak il-bib b'mod b'saħħtu. U il-healing, il-fejqan, jibda jsir ħafna iżjed malajr. Għaliex? Għax iċ-ċelluli s'issa se jibdew jirrispondu jerġgħu għall-moħħ u se jsaħħuh, se jgħidu le, jien se nimxi l-qudiem. Le, qed inħossni tajjeb. Iva, bħalissa għaddejja minn din terapija, imma qed inħossni tajjeb u se nibqa' mixja l-qudiem. Din il-forza mentali qed taffettwa b'mod kemikali, bioloġiku, il-ċelloli li għandna aħna f'ġisimna, illi il-molecules tagħhom illi jaffettwaw l-organi kollha tagħna. U dan għandek dak ċirku għaddej minn fuq għal isfel, minn isfel għal fuq u jerġa' jibqa' għaddej. U jerġa' jibqa' għaddej. Għalhekk huwa importanti issa li għandna dan it-tarif illi meta jkollna xi ħaġa eżiż, anke jekk in-nies madwarna jibqgħu jara naqra x'ġarala, waqfuhom. Għaliex intom għandkom bżonn min jinkoraġġikom. Kultant kapaċi tagħmilha waħdek, kultant għandek bżonn għajnuna tan-nies madwarek li saħu. Imma jekk meta inti tifhem dan li qed tgħidilna din il-biology of belief u kif taffettwa is-sistema bioloġika ta' kif inħossuna aħna fiżikament, jekk qegħdin nifhmuha sew naraw li kapaċi nevitaw jew nifrankaw ħafna mart. I'm really, really grateful for what you're saying today, you know, Bev, because well, we always say that knowledge is power.
Absolutely. I mean, we've got to remember it's the belief that something is possible that makes it possible. So when we spoke about the placebo effect, right? Somebody could be very sick, they're given a sugar pill. Their belief in the cure is what cures them, not the sugar pill. And their belief comes from their mind to the brain, releases specific chemicals that don't know this is a sugar pill and believe these chemicals are going to change the cells to wellness, health, upgrading, right?
Right.
So that's what happens because the belief in the cure, that this cure was possible, right, is what made it possible. not what went in the mouth.
Yes. Mela, jekk intom tiftakru, konna tkellimna wkoll ftit ilu fuq il-placebo effect, x'kien da? Edna fejn kien hemm grupp ta' nies illi tawhom pinnola ta' zokkor biss kien fiha. U bħala tidher l-oħra li kellha verament il-mediċina. Dawn meta ma jkollhomx verament il-mediċina jgħidulhom placebo. U qed tgħid illi meta dawn tawilhom għalulhom li dik mediċina ma kienitx, immek għalulhom, mela, il-persuna li ħaditha minn moħħa emnet li dik hija l-mediċina li se tagħmilha l-mirakli. U taf xiex? Imxiet il-qoddim u fiqet. Dawn esperimenti li saru. Issa, bl-istess mod, jekk aħna nibqgħu nżommu f'moħħna illi il-ħsieb jaffettwa direttament il-moħħ. Il-moħħ se jibgħat dawn il-kimiċi, din l-informazzjoni mal-kimika li se tinżel ġol ċelloli tagħna. U din se taffettwa l-organi tagħna b'mod dirett. Hemmhekk se nifhmu illi għandna x'għandna, nieħdu x'nieħdu aħbar medika u mhijiex, illi meta aħna nirċivuha din l-aħbar, veru momentarjament kultant ninħasdu, imma f'moħħna rridu ngħidu tibżax. Mela għandna del ħaġa, mela min issa jien se nibda nfiq. U għaliex qed nibda ngħidlek? Għax qed nifhem illum l-ewwel waħda jien Ġozet, qed nifhem kif malli jien se nibda naħseb illi se nibda nfiq il-messaġġi, il-kimika, il-peptides li se ngħaddi lill-informazzjoni ta' daċ-ċelloli li huma preżentament infjammati jew morda, dawn se nagħlqilhom l-informazzjoni għal iktar mart u se nibda il-proċess ta' fejqan. Illum naħseb li din kienet waħda li hija mill-aqwa programmi illi għamilna. L-informazzjoni li ħadna llum jekk tibqgħu iżommuha f'moħħkom, tifhmuha sew u tagħtu naqra ħin, hekk hemm bżonn importanti li tisimgħu ir-repeat tagħhom daw il-programmi għax hija informazzjoni interessantissima. Tinsewx illi bħalada fi 11 ta' filgħodu u nhar ta' ħadd fit-8:09 ta' filgħaxija ikun hawn dejjem repetizzjoni ta' dan il-programm u tkunu tistgħu tieħdu iktar tifhmu iżjed dan kollu li qed jingħad. Ħalli forsi dan verament jidħol bħala parti mir-rutina tagħna l-iktar issa li għaddejjin minn dal-biżgħat minn dan l-inkwitijiet li għandna. So, Bev, I'm telling them that I think for me, I mean, I always love your programs. As much as I love you when you are explaining, you have such a way to do it. But I think that this program today, I think it incorporates all the knowledge now that we have had since the beginning, and we have reached that stage where this information will actually bring together all that stuff, and I think we are now in a position to receive it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I'm really happy that today we are closing the program on this note, because I believe it's really a life-changing information that we are giving out. Ħbib tiegħi, illum ferħana mensien, għax din l-informazzjoni kif qed ngħid il-Beverley hija xi ħaġa illi lili żgur se tibdilha ħajti iktar mill-informazzjoni li qatt kellha qabel. Għaliex illum qed nifhem u qed nissoda iktar isu għandi ġiksop puzzle illum u ġibta flimkien jiena, għaliex dejjem kien hemm dik xi ħaġa li xtaqt inkun naf imma kif dil-forza verament taħdem meta I put it into action. U llum b'din l-informazzjoni ta' biology of belief u dak li qed jiġri meta jien qed ngħaddi din l-informazzjoni nirċivija emozjonalment, qed ngħaddiha lill-moħħ, jew qed nibżew qed ngħid li ħanaddi minnha. According ta' dak li qed nibgħat, din se tibgħat dawn il-messaġġi kollha lil dak ċelloli u skont jekk huwiex tajbin iċ-ċelloli jinbidlu f'ċelluli aħjar, jekk huma ħżiena jirċievu iktar mart milli jkun hemm. B'din l-informazzjoni eżis, se nħallikom illum ftakru li fil-kollettività hemm is-saħħa. Fin-numri hemm is-saħħa, mela iktar ma nifmu u ma nibdew inħarsu anke l-sitwazzjoni li għaddej minnha, iktar milli nħarsu biss l-aħbarijiet negattivi, nifqu u kuljum bi gratitudni ngħidu grazzi illi l-affarijiet mixin il-qudiem, grazzi li qegħdin kollha kemm aħna nieħdu dat-talim għax jekk kollha nifmu u nibdlu il-perspettiva, l-attitudni tagħna lejn is-saħħa tagħna u lejn l-ambjent u dak kollu qed jiġri madwarna, l-affarijiet globali f'pajjiżna u internazzjonalment jitilgħu ħafna iżjed il fuq u nibdew nerġgħu ingawdu il-ħajja ta' normalità. Inħobkom ħafna, grazzi lilkom, grazzi lil Beverley u vera ngħid grazzi lil kull min qiegħed isegwina u jagħtina s-sapport tiegħu biex inkomplu nagħtu l-informazzjoni tagħna. Bħas-soltu ngħid grazzi wkoll lil hairdresser tiegħi, lil Naomi, lil Francis li dejjem jieħdu ħsiebi u flimkien fismi Ġażer Ċappara u Beverley Rimer ngħidilkom grazzi wow.